Hi everybody, Shannon here. Okay, this is I guess gonna be like a part two to a video I just did entitled Paranormal Experience Actual Physical Contact. Okay, because in the beginning of that video I said I was gonna tell two stories, and really I kind of the first story just kind of like went really long, so I didn't want to make like a 20-minute video explaining like the other story. I wanted to make a different video because I know if you guys see like 20-minute video, you're gonna be like, I am not about to sit here for 20 minutes. So, um, so this was the second story that I was gonna tell in that video. Okay, and this story actually happened to me when I was like 9 or 10 years old. At least that's the age like that I'm around when I had this experience. That's all I can guess. Okay, so I'll start with this. Okay, a little backstory. Like I said, I was around 9 or 10 years old. It was close to Christmas time. Okay, at least I think it was close to Christmas time because I remember when I had this experience, I thought it was Santa Claus. Even though I was like, but it's not Christmas yet, but I think it was Santa Claus. Okay, so it actually happened to my stepfather with me. He and I had the same experience at the exact same time, and this is why it's super strange that this happened. Okay, so the house that we were living in, okay, was a two-story house. We were on the top story. Okay, so we had the attic and then the roof above us. So this is what happened. Okay, I woke up in the middle of the night or early morning because I heard footsteps on the roof, and it sounded like somebody walking in boots. Okay, not like sneakers or anything. Like it sounded like heavy footsteps, heavy like boots footsteps. Okay, that's how I thought. That's what I thought it was, and so that's why, because it was sort of around Christmassy time. That's why I thought it was Santa Claus on the roof because I still believed in Santa Claus. Okay, so I heard the footsteps, and okay, I walked out of my room. Now, God, I wish I had like a diagram that I could like show you. But anyways, I walked out of my room, okay, and then I'm in the hallway, and then like to the right of me is the living room, but I'm going over here, and I'm like sort of in the kitchen now, and all of a sudden I got scared because my stepfather just came out of his room. Okay, so we met in the hallway, like right at the entrance of, the living room. And he asked me if I heard that. And I said, yeah. I said, it sounds like somebody's on the roof. And he was like, yeah. Okay, now he was scared too. Okay, because that woke him up. My mom passed out asleep. She couldn't hear a thing. Okay, both of us are now just kind of looking at each other confused. And at this point, I think my stepfather thought that like it was an intruder. So, he told me, to like stay where I was, and he was gonna, go into the living room and see what it was all about. But, I'm like a little kid, I'm curious, and I thought it was frickin' Santa Claus coming early, because maybe I was a good girl. I don't know. Um, so right before he was about to like go into the living room, like he was just taking a second to pause. Okay, we heard now at the end of our living room, okay, was a door that led to a stairway that went downstairs, and it also led to the out porch at the deck, the like outside porch that we had on the top story. Okay, so this door we heard open. Okay, and it's weird because like this door was always like hard to open because like there wasn't much room between like the carpet and the door, and it was like a thick carpet, so when you opened it, like you heard it, like you heard the jingle jingle of the doorknob, and it just like pushing open. So right before he was about to go and investigate, to see like what the hell's going on in the roof, okay, we heard that door open. Now, even though like that door just leads to like the downstairs apartment and doesn't necessarily lead directly outside, we still locked it. Okay, just in case, we always kept that door locked. So now we heard that door open. Okay, which is now like, that door shouldn't be open. What the hell is opening that door? So, he's telling me to stay there. Okay, now as he's peering in to the living room to look across the way at the end of the living room, I'm doing the same exact thing. Okay, stupid kids don't freaking listen. Okay, we are very curious. So at the same time, simultaneously, we both look in the living room and down where the door was, and immediately blinded by a extremely bright white light. Okay, it was like freaking just shining like a freaking huge white light just shining at us from the end of the living room. Like you could tell it was from the end of the living room, wherever this light was coming from. It was just at the end of the living room, and it was just kind of like, like almost like lightly flashing. Like it was bright, but it was like flashing in between, like super bright and lighter bright, but it was still like you were blinded by it. Okay, so we looked in, we heard the footsteps on the roof, we heard the door open in the living room that was locked. Okay, we look in the living room, we're blinded by this white shining light, and then boom, don't remember anything. Okay, from that point on, both of us looking in and seeing that bright white light, next thing I know, I'm waking up in the morning in my bed. Okay, I woke up, I'm um, like I didn't remember what happened after. I don't remember going back to bed. So I got up, and my mom, my stepdad, they're having their coffee and breakfast, and he asked me about it in the morning. He's like, "Do you remember like what happened last night?" And I was like, "Yeah, the footsteps on the roof, the door opened, and then there was a white light." And I was like, "But I don't remember going back to bed or what happened afterwards." And he said the same thing. He said he remembers all those things that happened, okay, but we don't remember going back into bed. We don't remember like trying to figure out like what was, where did that light come from? Okay? Why did the door open? Who was on the roof? Like seriously, who was on the roof? Because okay, unless you had like a ladder, it's not like houses were close enough together where you could like jump from one roof to one roof. And it's not like we had like any scaffolding, whatever. Like like in some like urban areas they have ladders that run all the way down the house. Okay, it's not like we had that like down. Okay, ours was still up. You couldn't reach it. So we're like, who got on the roof? And not to mention, like, just I don't know, like how come we just that was the first thing we heard was just somebody stomping on the roof. Then a door opened and then a bright light, and it was mind-boggling. And he kind of brushed it off, like he was, like I don't know, really weird, creepy. Um, we don't know what happened that night. Okay. And I honestly really wish that I could do like that whole like hypnotism thing to try to, like figure out what it was. But at the same time, like you've got to be, with the whole memory regression and hypnotism, like it's hard because you can actually create memories that weren't there, and it's kind of like your brain filling in the blanks, with whatever information it has stored, because for whatever reason, you have a memory repressed. Like I have that. I have situations where there's, memories, patches, time lapses where I don't remember what happened. Like all of a sudden it was, 1 o'clock, and the next thing I know it was like 4 o'clock. And I'm like, what happened? Like it's weird. And I don't know why like our memory regresses certain things. Or is it because they were bad memories? It was because it was like shocking or scary, or you know what? I don't know. Hopefully someday like these memories will come back to me. But yeah, that was probably the most realistic experience because somebody was there to experience it with me, so it made me not feel like I was like a crazy little girl. Okay. Um, I had also seen like unidentified flying objects. Um, Flying around outside my window when I was a kid, but like I don't know. That could have been airplanes, and it could have just been me being a kid, seeing airplanes with a bunch of flying lights. But I gotta say, if they were like airplanes, then they were flying like freaking 10 feet above my roof. That was really low. So, but yeah, that was a crazy experience. If anybody's ever experienced something like that where you see like a bright shining light, I'm really curious about this light because like where was it coming from? What was producing this light? How come I don't remember going back to bed? And neither does my stepfather. And still to this day I've asked him about it and he still doesn't remember what happened. So I hope someday I remember, you know. Yeah, creepy experiences, guys. Shit's weird shit happens. You can't explain it sometimes. Creepy. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Until next time, bye.